Hello everyone, this is Tan here, and in this video I have the SMR Select-Fire commentary here. And the gameplay you're watching right now is me using the SMR with many different attachments such as a reflex sight, suppressor, grip, quick draw, MMS, and the Select-Fire of course. So let's get right into it here. The SMR, the score when you have the Select-Fire on is 9 out of 10. Means that it's really good, and it's one attachment I would recommend for the SMR for those people who have like slow finger trigger some sort of. And I'm gonna talk about the negative effects first when you have the Select-Fire and when you fire in full auto mode. By default, the SMR fires a semi-auto mode, and the fire cap is 450 rounds per minute, and this fire cap is really sluggish and slow when you compare to the FL, another semi-auto weapon that seems to be very much better at close to middle range due to its higher fire cap. And when you use a Select-Fire and when you fire in full auto, your fire rate will decrease to about 400 rounds per minute and make it like slowest firing assault rifles in the game. But the SMR is a high damage weapon as well as long range, and it's a precision weapon. It's 2-shot kills at close, middle to almost long range, and the range of the 2-shot kill range is even higher than the FAL. So your advantage over the FAL is your range though. So to be really effective with the SMR Select-Fire, you need to play like defensive style and just pick people off from the distance. And you also need to have good accuracy too, because the full auto sometimes can cause you to drift off target if you keep firing it, and if you have poor accuracy, then the Select-Fire may not be a good attachment. But at least in return, when you use the Select-Fire, it makes your fire rate even more consistent when you compare to like semi-auto mode, where your rate of fire is quite inconsistent because you fire your weapon by your own finger, like pop up pop up. Sometimes it's not quite inconsistent, pop pop pop. When you have the full auto almost like pop 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 pop, so that's a little bit much better, right? So that's only positive effects on the SMR. And in practice, when you use this like in against other people, you'll find that it's much easier this way though, and you can expect to kill someone really quickly though. I think it's a little bit faster than you have the semi-auto mode, and the full auto modes again makes your rate of fire more consistent even if your rate of fire is kind of slow. So again, play defensive style. If you go aggressive, then I would prefer you use the FAL instead, because the FAL has the faster fire rate. Even with the Select-Fire, the FAL is still a king at close to middle range. Yeah, SMR again, play defensive style and is best at medium to long range engagements. Taking out sniper is not a big issue on the SMR too. For the attachments, aside from the Select-Fire, the reflex sight is good on the SMR, and the SMR's iron sight is really bulky and obstructive, but it is usable though. But most people would prefer any sorts of optical attachment, and the reflex sight is always good all-round attachment for the SMR, and it's good at any ranges too. The target finder, I would leave that for like a large or open map such as Turbine, so you can take out any snipers without cold-blooded or any campers in a dark corner. And without cold blood, you can kill them really easily. You just need 3 shots to kill at extreme distances. Oh, and I forgot to mention, by the way, if you want to take out anyone at long range, you cannot do this in like full auto mode because the recoil will drift off the target. So you need to reset your fire rate. Just fire like as a semi-auto. Fire once to let the recoil settle, and fire once to let the recoil settle again, and fire another shots to score a kill. Or a better way is that you switch back to semi-auto mode if you feel like this tactic is quite uncomfortable when using a full auto mode. But in most cases, you'll end up at medium to like long range engagements, and the recoil is not like that. It's not gonna be like much of an issue, but it still can be a troublesome if you don't control it carefully. And what else here? The grip attachments on the SMR, I didn't find it to be particularly useful at all. It just helps at extreme distances, but in most cases again you end up in medium to long range gunfights. The suppressor is also not that bad on the SMR too, because the range of the SMR is really high, and if you use a suppressor, you still can get like 2-shot kill at medium range, so it's not that terrible. And if you compare this to the FAL suppressor, the FAL suppressor is even worse though, because the FAL suppressor reduced like 2-shot kill range even like much further. The FAL 2-shot kill range is quite low. I mean, low to moderate. I don't know how long or whatever, but the SMR suppressor it's far much better. The quick draw handle is nice to have if you prefer faster aim time and snap on the target and kill someone faster, something like that. I also prefer the quick draw too, but because you want to play like defensive style, it may not be really necessary the aim time. If you can get like behind a cover first and then aim, then it's not like a huge issue like the aim time, and you can leave that points for something else better, like the Select-Fire and the red dot, and the suppressor is a good combination that I like to use. The MMS is also good on the SMR too. The SMR's damage is high, so when you try to penetrate someone, it's not like a huge issue like other assault rifles such as the MTAR, where if you try to penetrate someone, it takes more than 5 shots or something like that. And the SMRs, again, it has high damage and penetrates too. When you penetrate like someone through walls, not like a big issue. Just a reminder that don't try to penetrate any like thick walls or anything, because it's gonna take like forever, or you won't get like any hit marker when you try to do so. But at least you can try out any types of wars, see if you can penetrate someone, and then you will learn which kind of materials or walls you can penetrate. And when you use MMS, I would recommend you have like a smoke grenade, so just toss one in like show point area and you just wait, and you use the MMS to scan anyone who's walked right into the smoke. And another favorite class I use with this setup, the Select-Fire, the MMS, and Suppressor, just killed them silently in a smoke screen. They left blinded, but I can still see them through the MMS smoke. This tactic is not like, not a lot of people use this tactic though, but it's really effective and really powerful. You know, and the MMS is like an anti-camper attachment too, so it's really a good tool to use, but except that people overlook it. Anyway, and what else here? The hybrid optic is also good too, but you most likely end up using like a top part, the reflex part, instead of the magnifier one. Alright, and I think that's it for now for the SMR Select-Fire. And just to remind you again, like play defensive style will yield more like kills rather than you attempt to go aggressive style. And I'll also of course cover the FL Select-Fire, and I'll talk about the aggressive style later on. And that's why many people like got really frustrated. How come like the FL kills someone at close range? Well, I'm gonna go into like more tactics into that too, but don't call me noob or anything. It's just the game, is how it works though. But between the FL and the SMR, I prefer SMR for, well, some reason because I like the SMR as a futuristic weapon, and it's not a lot of people use it. I prefer to use like weapons that people don't use it a lot, so, and that's just me. Alright, and the last gameplay you're watching right now is Ground War Domination on Raid, but this is before I got the Select-Fire attachment, so it's going to be me for a semi-auto mode. But you'll see like without the full auto mode, I can still perform like really well though without it, but in most cases I still prefer full auto on the SMR. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Losing Alpha. Orbital VSAT on standby. Orbital VSAT online. Enemy has Alpha. Securing Charlie. Securing A. Alpha secure. All flags secured. Hold your positions. UAV inbound. Warhead awaiting orders. Losing A. Hunter killer drone deployed. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed. Lodestar on standby.
Upper, fire 1-1 hazard to all Wiener. Wiener, 150. Did you get that guy's time? Good strike.
Losing B.
Oh, Wiener, I died. Fucking Reno. 16 seconds.
Losing C. Losing B.
Oh, Tom, that was a terrible shot. Just walked the forward.
Good job, squad. Stand by for further orders.